Welcome back to another episode of Imagination Nation. We're going to continue on tonight with some more horror movies. These ones are just a little bit suspenseful. Can you handle it? I think I can. Can you? Watch out for it! Oh god, I can't handle the suspense! Audrey Hepburn does a great job in Wait Till Dark. She plays a poor blind girl who's being stalked by three guys who are looking for something in her apartment. The last 15 minutes of the movie are one of the most frightening scenes you ever watch in movie history. Very suspenseful ending. Deliverance is on my disturbing movie list. That famous squeal like a pig scene is very suspenseful, very frightening and disturbing. Poor Ned Beatty. The rest of the movie is a bit too long and not enough suspense for me, but it is a good movie because of that scene. Don't Look Now is a beautifully shot film in Venice, Italy. It's about this poor family who loses their daughter. They move to Italy, where her husband, Donald Sutherland, is a architect who's trying to restore historical buildings, and the suspense is mild, but the ending is phenomenal. Duel, Steven Spielberg's first major film, even though it was released on TV. It did very well in Europe. Great film. The thing that makes this movie very scary and suspenseful is that we never see the driver. And this truck is trying to run this poor guy off the road throughout the whole movie. He's the only actor pretty much in the movie, and he does a great job. When a Stranger Calls, the original one from 1979, is one of the most frightening movies I've ever seen. Not 1 inch of blood in the movie, but the suspense in the first 20 minutes of this movie is enough to scare anyone, especially babysitters. No babysitter should ever watch this movie. Very frightening. Very good urban legend put on screen. And the sequel, When a Stranger Calls Back, is just as scary in the beginning. It has the same director, Fred Walton, and Carol Kane, and Charles Durning. Walt Disney and Bette Davis could not save this movie from failing at the box office. Lynn Holly Johnson does a wonderful job in this movie. If you get to watch the alternate endings for this movie, they are so much better than the crappy ending this movie has. But altogether, this movie is well put together. Good movie. Good movie for Bette Davis, too. The Descent. Great movie. It has a very long introduction about this poor woman who loses her daughter and her husband in a car accident. And after her recovery, she goes with her bunch of friends on a mini vacation to go cave splunking. And the suspense just keeps building up. It's a great movie put together. It's a very surprise ending. Speaking of surprise endings, here's one for The Village. I dedicate this one to my buddy, Chris Charles, who just loves this movie big time. Yeah, I try to explain, this movie is just phenomenal, and the ending just blows you away. Greatly put together by M. Night Shyamalan. Great movie. I love it. The best one he ever made. 1 Hour Photo. Good movie. It wasn't Robert Williams' best films, but he did a good job as this sad character who's very alone and stalks this one family with pictures, that is. I like it. The music is pretty suspenseful. Robert Williams plays this dark character. I like the movie. Marathon Man. I just watched this one recently, and I could say this is probably Dustin Hoffman's best film. The famous dentist scene. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be, but the action and the suspense in this movie, it was like watching an Alfred Hitchcock suspense movie, like North by Northwest, but rated R. It was a good movie. And Roy Scheider did an excellent job in this movie. This movie right here, Funny Games, is not funny whatsoever. I was so frightened when I watched this movie. It is so sad what happens what these two boys do to this family. I've never been so uncomfortable watching a movie in my life. I highly recommend this movie for serious movie watchers. It was very frightening. And what do you know, a movie called Fright. Technically, this movie came out in 1971, and it was an English-made horror movie. And yes, it was probably the first babysitter horror movie ever made. Now, no one ever knows about this movie. It is well put together. It's a bit long and drawn out, but there's a couple suspense scenes that make this movie really work. I didn't really like the ending in that movie. Flowers in the Attic. A great movie for Louise Fletcher. She plays a similar character like she did in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But in this movie she plays an evil grandmother who just assists her daughter in trying to secretly kill her kids who are living in the attic of this huge mansion out in England. Beautiful place. Great movie. Eyes Wide Shut is kind of another disturbing movie that no one really knows how to explain unless you watch it. You have to watch this movie because I have no idea how to describe or review this movie for you other than it's strange. A very good movie. Stanley Kubrick's one of his best. A little confusing. It's about into a world that we don't understand. Watch the movie. The Wicker Man. Great movie, great climax, another English-made movie, one of Christopher Lee's best films in my opinion. He was happy to play this movie. He loved the character he was playing. All I can say is that you really probably won't, if you can't get into the beginning, oh wow, get to the ending. Once you get to the ending, you'll love the whole movie. The Pit and the Pendulum. One of the probably first movies to ever scare the crap out of me as a little kid. Oh god, it was so scary. Vincent Price, good movie for him, and Roger Corman, one of his first movies he ever made, and it's just well put together with the sets and the lighting, and cheesy as heck, but I love it, and it's a great movie for horror goers. The Shining. Every American should have seen this movie, or should see this movie. It's a great ghost story. I consider it more suspense than anything. It's a mind game, it's a psychological thriller, it's every kind of horror movie in one movie. Jack Nicholson steals the screen. Stanley Kubrick makes the great movie. Shelley Duvall, I wish he could do better. Poor girl. The Blair Witch Project. Awesome movie. Well put together. Great idea for its time when it came out. It's one of the most successful independent movie ever made. Has a great climax. The last 10 minutes of the movie are very frightening. And Chris Charles, that one's for you too. Great movie. Well, here's another good one that I got for Christmas that I loved and I'm glad I got it. Was Mary Riley with Julia Roberts. It's a story of Jekyll and Hyde in the eyes of the maid, which is Julia Roberts. Well put together movie. I love all the fog effects and it just looks like where this movie was filmed. Who knows? It's well put together. Good suspense. And Coma. You think you were scared when you went to showers with Psycho? You think you were scared when you were going to the ocean for Jaws? Well, Coma will do the same thing to you if you go to the hospital, if you need surgery or something. This is a very frightening movie. It was well put together and great suspense. I recommend this movie to you. Just when you thought you were safe, you're not safe. Because we still have the natural disaster suspense movies. Here's the ones I recommend. The ones that still kind of scare me to this day because any natural disaster is scary. So leave comments. Let me know what you thought of this episode or what I had presented. Because suspense is scary. Well, here you have it. That was the end of the show today. Join me next week when I go into monsters. All sorts of monsters. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know I did. So, please leave feedback. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Good night.